I brought 6 or 7 books to give away, but I've already given away 3 or 4. My card is up here. I have a little thing on population too, if any of you are interested. I'm going to close with my poem, and then we'll get to the questions, and then I hope our guests arrive. We are 34 million friends. We are 34 million friends. We are 34 million friends of the women of the world. We are reaching out to the world. We are going to have our say. We are reaching out to the world through the IVCLA. Every baby welcome now, loved and fed and vaccinated. Mothers, children learning now, reading, writing, educated. Every child a heartfelt joy. Every child a book and toy. Every child with wings unfurled, whether it be boy or girl. No more death while giving birth because a midwife's taking care. No more mothers in the earth because a midwife's helping there. To AIDS and violence we say no. To family planning we say yes. Human rights are the way to go. Surely we can do no less. True story. Woman lying on a donkey cart. Dirt road, heat wave, and in labor. Doctor put her in his truck. Luck that day was in her favor. And all of us who have so much, $1 we can share to show the women of the world that we, the people, care. We are 34 million friends, and we are going to have our say. We are reaching out to the world through the UNFPA. Thank you. As I said, Alex Cotin deals with Merlin, USA. You know, there are so many health emergencies now. You know the Pakistan, you know, the woman who's teaching literacy in Pakistan, you know there was a flood in Pakistan. There were 100,000 pregnant women on the road trying to escape the floods in Pakistan. I mean, see, this all ties together. UNFPA was there, I'm sure Merlin was there. Economic empowerment, health. You can't economically prosper unless your health is good. Health is just right there. And those women, I bet they could read. I bet most of those women, the stories you told, I bet they could read. Education, health, and equality. Let's have some questions. Some comments, anything.
I have a question. In the past, I've read and I've also heard, watched the documentary about World Bank and going into these countries and offering them loans, but then making them have to do, then making them have to buy products that they don't want from other companies, and making them do things where they didn't really prosper. I know that you have all these different organizations and they are doing things to really make sure women become successful. But how do you make sure that the other side is not trying to take away what you're trying to give to the people?
The World Bank does not lend to individuals or to microfinance institutions. What I can speak now is in regard to how this works from, for example, the corporations, the cities, the Nikes, they form partnerships with organizations such as the Grameen Bank, right? And then these organizations go and they investigate the local organizations. And there are some that are regulated, others that are not regulated. However, you know, they decide if they want to partner with those. And one of the areas that they look at is repayment of the women. In most of the cases, in all of the cases of the ones that I presented tonight, for example, the repayment rate was 98%, which is really incredible. But again, it's a very different model than the World Bank. The World Bank lends to the government. The World Bank, these are different types of organizations.
I have a quick comment. You know, you're absolutely right. There was a big editorial in the New York Times recently about banks who are getting into the microloan business, and banks want to make a profit, and they have stockholders. So, you know, microcredit is absolutely wonderful, but it's not a panacea. And there have been many instances of predatory loans. So, you're well informed about that. Any other questions?
My name is Rahima. I come from India. An excellent presentation, microfinance. Really, I am deeply touched this presentation. And some questions, challenges of microfinance for women. Any study this issue? Challenges, men misuse this women in microfinance. Any study you know?
Well, I can probably speak loud enough, but I'll use the mic. In some instances, when the woman actually acquires the loan, the male of the household actually takes the funds and uses them. Again, that is in some cases. It doesn't stay in the hands of the woman. However, as I also mentioned, of course, as long as the man actually uses it to pay for things of the household, well, the money ultimately helps. So it's not the best scenario, but it's there to help in some way. But it does happen, yes, unfortunately.
I wanted to call Ernestine. Would you mind saying a few words about Ernestine Robertson is the president of the Lusaka Sister Cities, LA Lusaka, and you are doing some work in Lusaka that
Yes, good evening. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here this evening as president of the Los Angeles Lusaka Sister City Committee. I, first of all, would like to say that I'm pleased to be in the presence of those who understand the interdependent nature of our world, and the fact that women do in fact hold up more than half the world is something that is impressive to me this evening based on the work done by these organizations that have put this together. I, along with my colleagues in the Los Angeles Lusaka Sister City Committee, we have put together a small women's entrepreneur project for our sister city in Lusaka, Zambia. Los Angeles Lusaka Sister City is one of 25 sister cities to the city of LA, and we are the only African sister city, although Egypt was kind of in and out, we're the only African sister city to the city of Los Angeles. Our project is such that we have a project manager going to Lusaka, Zambia in April, and she'll be returning in June, there for 8 weeks for the purpose of putting in place our microloan, microfinance project. The concept essentially is this: we have raised money, not going through a bank, because I totally embrace the philosophy that both of you have shared this evening. We have raised money, and this particular money will be there for our project director to oversee and to disperse. It didn't just start off the cuff. Let me tell you what we did. The former First Lady of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Maureen Wanawasa, was here in the United States. We talked with her, and she is a key person in the country. So we will send our project manager, who will be there with Dr. Wanawasa, and we will have then identified 10 women out of 20. They initially, the Maureen Wanawasa Women's Initiative, will initially interview 20 women. We will drill down to 10. By the time our project manager gets there, she will interview those 10 women. The concept is that we give 10 women incrementally up to $200 apiece. Those women will use that money for their agricultural farms development or improvement and their goat farm development. They will need to impress upon us how they can improve the quality of life for themselves as well as their families and the greater or the larger community. So as you know, with goat farms, we're talking about milk in addition to other kinds of things. So these 10 women in 24 months, the goal is for them to repay that $200. And if you translate the $200, I mean, one kwacha, that's the currency in Zambia, one kwacha equals $1 equals 1,700 kwacha. So essentially, the women will be getting like 340,000 kwacha if you translate our $200. It will be given incrementally, as I said, so that when they pay that money back in 24 months, 10 more women will then be able to borrow that money. And when those 10 women pay it back in 24 months, if that's doable, there will be 10 more women. So we're talking about a gift that keeps on giving. We're talking about sustaining growth. And before our project manager leaves there, we will have identified a point person who will be there to oversee that project continuously, so that when we leave, it goes on and on and on. And we're not looking for that money to come back to us. The idea, once again, is to give a gift that keeps on giving. So hopefully that gives you just a little feel, and I'm glad to handle any questions that you may have about our little project, but we think every little bit makes a difference, and that's very significant. What seems like meager to us is major to others. And what we're also doing, we've put together 5 training seminars for these 10 women. So they will undergo a training program. We will have our embassy in Lusaka, Zambia, working with us. We will have the local chamber there in Lusaka working with us as well. So that's just a little bit about what we'll be doing with our microloans project in Lusaka, Zambia. Thank you.
Citizen diplomacy, big time. Hey, I did want to hold up this book. You know, everybody in the whole world should read this. It's Half the Sky, Turning Oppression into Opportunity for Women Worldwide, Nicholas Kristof's book. I'm sure several of you have read it already. You know, he has fantastic stories there of microloans empowering women and empowering whole communities. Wonderful, wonderful stories of women triumphing over adverse circumstances like crazy, and really, really inspiring. This book has been translated into French. My guess is it's been translated into Spanish. I would think so. Anyway, I have 2 pages in there. Jane Robertson and 30 Friendly Friends. Believe me, it's a thick book. Great stories.
My mother has been embarrassing me for 69 years, so now it's my turn. As one of the minority genders in the room, I've got the microphone. One of the things my mother has been impressed about when she's traveled the world is how cultures appreciate the wisdom of the elders. And I'd like you to hear some wisdom from her. I've been waiting 69 years.
Well, I'll get him. As long as I'm on my feet, I won't pretend to fill in for the speakers, but I did ask if I could make just a couple of comments about Japan. Because I'm so honored to be here with these 2